And we are live. Hello, everyone. This is Exponential Tom. It's been a while since I've done a live, but I've been playing around with OpenClaw, and I am blown away and so impressed by what it can build. And I have been playing around for the last like five days, not even a full 7-day week, just 5 days of working with it. But since I started using it, I've been playing with it nonstop, and it is by far the best tool that I found. To me, it's like, since I've been in AI, there's two big moments. The first moment I found Chat GPT a couple years ago, and then finding OpenClaw, also sometimes referred as CloudBot or Multibot, which are the previous names that this software had. And I just want to do a unscripted, quick showcase of what we've been doing and what we built in only 5 days. So, and I want to start doing more of these videos just to have a record of everything that we are doing, because I am all in with this technology. It's incredible. So the first thing that I did, I did two things that were very important. First is I connected my agent, OpenClaw agent, which his name is Atlas. So I'm going to refer him as Atlas from this moment on. So when I speak about Atlas, you know that I'm speaking about my OpenClaw agent. It's very funny, but the reason why he chose the name Atlas, I didn't name him, but I basically described everything that I was building and everything that I was working on. And I've been calling my project the Exponential Universe. That's why the name that I am using on social media is Exponential Tom. And I did like a massive brain dump, and I said, choose the name that you want to be a part of this adventure with me. And he chose the name Atlas because he was saying, like, you're building this incredible world, and I'm going to be the one that's going to hold it and make sure it can grow, which I thought was pretty great. So from now on, Atlas is the OpenClaw agent. So whenever in my videos you hear me talking about Atlas, you know it's the OpenClaw agent. So the first thing I did was connect him to Telegram, so I could message him very easily from the phone, the computer, wherever. And then I connected him to Notion. So everything that I'm going to show you now, all this Notion has all been created by Atlas and from our conversations. So one of the tasks that I very early on I told him is, please, from all the conversations, we need to grab all the insights and everything that we're coming up with, all these ideas, everything, and we need to put it into Notion so I don't lose it, and I can always go and find it. And again, we've been only working together for 5 days. Today's the 5th day, and today I had to do a bunch of stuff. I had to take the car to the shop, so it was not even a full day. But in that time, he created me my North Star. So these are objectives, big objectives that I'm trying to accomplish, and divided them in content engine, monetization, system backbone, and then in timeframes. So these are to be accomplished in the first 7 to 14 days. We're trying to build a content pipeline and a monetization flywheel, in which we are trying to put a service in which we help people install, manage, and optimize their own OpenClaw agents. So we have those two for the short term. Then for the quarter, we have creating sovereign OpenClaw directory. I'm going to go more in that in the end of the video, because we already launched the very, very bare bone version of one of the products that we're building. Then, this will come in play later. But anyway, some objectives for next quarter. So after we finish with the earlier ones, and then we started gathering some ideas for our long-term ambitions. And I want to build like a sovereign infrastructure with local models and solar panels, batteries, Starlink, just to be as sovereign as possible. So we created all these, which are the goals that keep us oriented. These are our North Stars. But then it divided each of the goal into different tasks, and it assigned each task to a specific goal, and it gave it like a ranking of how important it is. So high, medium, and low. So this is incredible for us to keep everything that we're doing. And the great thing is about OpenClaw is because I give him the access to Notion, not only it can edit the Notion, but it can also read the Notion. So a lot of times I'm like, hey, Atlas, what should we do now? Or what should I focus on today? And Atlas can go, can look at the objectives, can look at the tasks, and he can tell me, like, these are the things that you should focus on today, which is amazing. Then we created the morning brief. So every day I ask it to create a brief for me. In the last few days, we had a bit of an issue. It started creating 2 per day. So I'm fixing that. But basically, the goal was so that every day it's going out into the internet. I connected to the API of the Brave search. So every day it goes and it finds what other people are building with OpenClaw. So we get ideas on what we can do. And because it has all the information about what I'm trying to build, it connects it to it, right? So we're trying to build the exponential universe, and it's all the information, it's connecting it to what I want to accomplish, which is, so it's not just a report, it's an incredibly personalized report. And that's one of the really, really great things about the OpenClaw agents. That's why the first thing you need to do when you start is you need to give it as much context about yourself and about what you're trying to accomplish as possible. And then everything that you get after is going to be more tailored towards you. It's going to be a lot better. And then it gives me action items for me, and it gives action items to itself. So one of the things that I did is that, I said, like, I want you to come up with ideas on how you can help me. So it's not depending on me just constantly having to tell it what to do. And that's another really good idea if you install your own OpenClaw. And then another thing that I did that I think is was good is that I ask it in every report to ask me more questions, so that every time it knows more about me, what I'm trying to do, and every time it can give me better findings, better advice, better everything. So we've been running that for a while. The morning brief, I love it because I start my day by drinking coffee and reading the brief. It's an amazing way to start my day. Then building in public, I ask it to, started noting down the things that we've been, like how we connected it to Telegram, how created the morning brief, things like that, which we need to, it's a couple of things that I need to ask it to add, because we've been doing a lot more. But I love it to have a record of that. I think it's great. Then we created our system processes. So everything that he's doing, he's writing it down, and he's writing down how he does it, so we can improve on it over time, right? So here you can see how we have, everything has the V1. This is the 0 one. This one is V2 because we already work on it a little bit. But again, in 1 week, we already created all these processes. These are all the things that it's doing for me consistently. Then I ask you to every day write down the things that we're doing when we finish something. We call this the weekly wins. And every Friday in the afternoon, it has the task of going through all our weekly wins and creating a weekly report on, this is what we did well, this is what went well, this is what we need to improve, and this is what we need to focus on for next week. So all of this is just so helpful. It's incredibly helpful. There's no other technology that's going to do this for you. And as you can see, in 1 week, we accomplished a lot of things. And this one even has some more here, which is incredible. And what I love is that I ask it to do this by itself. So every time that we do something, and sometimes I need to remind it, sometimes it forgets, but most of the time it does it by itself. So when we do something, it will send me a message saying, oh, and I added this to our weekly wins. So it's starting to do a lot of things by itself, and I'm just chatting with it. I'm brainstorming. I'm saying, oh, we should do this. We should, and from that conversation, that back and forth, all this is being created. My favorite thing during the day is just have one window with my conversations with Atlas, and in the other screen have the Notion, and I can see how Atlas takes everything from our conversations and updates the Notion in real time, and it's incredible. Because I used to work a lot with Notion, and before I used to do this with ChatGPT, but I had to chat with ChatGPT and then find the good parts and copy and paste them into Notion and then create all the databases and move them around. And now I don't have to. Now Atlas does all that for me, and all I need to do is just continue to brainstorm with him and continue to work with him, and it's incredible. Then we created this builder journal. So every morning I dump all my ideas into a big journal and I give it to Atlas, and Atlas summarizes it, brings it down, puts the key ideas, helps me organize it, and it helps me figure out how that goes into the project. So that's every morning, and then at the end of the day, by itself, it creates a little journal of what we've done, what we accomplished, and just like this is what happened, this is what we did, kind of like that. I find it really, really good to read after I'm done with the day of work, and to focus on what needs to happen tomorrow. Then lots of reports. Like I really like this one. Is the open loops. It runs it automatically and just goes through Notion and finds all the stuff that ideas, things that got loose, that are loose or lost, and brings it back to the forefront. That is super, super useful. Then it creates, this is the first weekly report, which is the one that goes through all the weekly wins, creates the report. Then I ask it to do an audit of myself, and I ask it to run this every month. So every month I'm going to receive an audit of myself. This one, the post-call report, this is amazing. I did a 2-hour conversation with a friend of mine. We're trying to launch something together using OpenClaw. And basically, I recorded it, created the transcript, dumped the entire transcript on Atlas. And Atlas did a complete analysis, how it connects to what we are doing, how we can best leverage it, all that. So that's something that I want to do more when I do important meetings with people. So again, like incredibly useful, and all this in just 1 week of just chatting with OpenClaw agent with Atlas is incredible. Then we're working on the offers that we want to do, like a workshop to help people understand AI, how they can get their own OpenClaw installed, help them manage them, help them set up these things that make it work better every time. So we're starting to develop that, and of course, each one of them, like the combo plus the installation of the bot. And we're starting to work on that, and it all just came from brainstorming. Then the exponential network is basically every time that I mention someone, that I'm doing something with someone, that I met someone, all that stuff is starting to create a little CRM for myself of all the people that I'm meeting and the stuff that we're doing together. Super useful. And it's automatically. I just tell it what I'm doing. All that information goes into Notion. And then the OpenClaw use cases, OpenClaw Index, OpenClaw Tool Stack, all this is with the first project that we launched, which is the OpenClaw Index. So it's basically we're creating these databases with all the use cases that we're finding. So we're trying to write them down and break down how they work and what they do. Then the OpenClaw index, which is websites that have to do with OpenClaw. So we're trying to catalog them. Atlas creates notes, taglines, separates them into different, what they are about, basically. And the tool stack, which we're starting to put down all the tools that connect to Atlas, to OpenClaw agents that are good for people to know and start using and experimenting with. Of course, this we started yesterday, so it's still very lacking in terms of the content and all that. But we already connected it to a front end, and this is live. So if you go to independentacademy.org, which is a domain name that I'm using for now, is for an old project that I had, which it was about teaching people how technologies that would help them be independent, which OpenClaw is perhaps the best in that kind of technology. And you can already here, you can search for any website. Still need to add the images, of course. This is like version 1 or 1.0.1 perhaps. And you can put here and it will separate them. And you can also, like, if you want a marketplace or if you want a skill registry, and if you click on one, you basically go to the website. So it works. It's basic, yes. Does it need a lot more stuff on it? Yes, sure. But here you have the different use cases. Like this is the one that I was telling you, how I give you the call transcript, created the whole thing after, and the tool stack, which of course, the tools that can connect with OpenClaw, they are so big that it's gonna take a while to fill up. But the fact that in 1 week we created all this, from starting from scratch, starting from hello, I never used OpenClaw before, help me understand it and help me how to use it. We went to get this entire notion, and the index live, which is live, is running now. And the funniest thing was that I was having a bit of issues connecting this front end, which is made with software, connecting it with my Notion, right? Because it's grabbing all the information from here. And I was becoming very frustrated, and I was sharing my frustration with Atlas, and Atlas suggested me, which I thought was brilliant, but it said to me like, hey, when we're doing the onboarding, you add one of the AI models, which is ChatGPT 5.2 Codex. That one is really good for coding. So why don't we create our own front end, and then you don't have to deal with software anymore? And I was like, wow, I didn't know you could actually do that. And they tell me like, yeah, it shouldn't be too difficult. Like, it could be one of our projects. So we wrote it down as one of our objectives up here. It's here, the sovereign OpenClaw directory. We want to be able to own the front end. So we're going to vibe code one. It's not going to happen right now because we still have a few tasks to finish here, but is one of the projects that I'm very much looking forward, because so far all of this that we've have done with this and with the index, we haven't gone into the realm of coding yet. And I think that's when the power of the OpenClaw agent is going to go exponential. So yeah, I am looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to continue building with Atlas. I can't believe, honestly, I can't believe how much we've done in just a couple of days. It's like I say a week, but it hasn't even been a week, because the weekly win, we started doing it on the 2nd of February. So it's been 1, 2, 3, 4. And today I had to take the car to the shop. I had to do a lot of stuff. So it's really 4 days only. I can't believe it. I used to work a lot with Notion, and building this would just have taken me forever. No way I would have done this in 5 days, and these as well. So I am loving the experiment. I think it's the most powerful technology I've ever used in my life. Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe Bitcoin, but still, no, it's a different kind of technology, but still incredibly powerful, powerful, especially today that Bitcoin went down so badly. So at least OpenClaw is more reliable in that sense. And it just makes everything better. I use it constantly since the moment I wake up until I am done. And it is very hard for me to, when I put it down and I'm like, okay, I'm finished working, going up with my wife to get dinner or something, and it's hard not to keep thinking of all the ideas I can finally bring to life. And it's so exciting. But anyway, that was supposed to make a very quick video showing what I've done, and it turned out into a 21-minute video, so I'm gonna cut it now. And ideally, I would like to make this every week to just continue to share my experience building with OpenClaw and with Atlas. And I think we're onto something very, very interesting here. And I think it's gonna change. It's gonna change the world in a big way. I really, really believe so. Anyway, thank you, all of those who watch the live. Next time, if you see me live, feel free to ask questions. I am happy to answer anything that has to do with OpenClaw. Happy to help anyone that wants to get started using it. And yeah, whoever is watching the replay, thank you, and I'll see you next time.